Welcome back to Pastry Maestra. I'm Teresa and today I'm making Vanilla and Strawberry Mille-Feuille. Mille-feuille, meaning 1,000 leaves in French, millefeuille in Italian, vanilla slice or custard slice in English, is also known as Napoleon. Apparently, it has absolutely nothing to do with the great conqueror. The name seems to originate from the word Napolitan, meaning from Naples. All the elements of the recipe are present in numerous cookbooks since at least the 16th century, but the exact origin of the millefeuille is unknown. Mention of the millefeuille dates back to 1600s France, when gastronomic chronicler François-Pierre de la Varenne recorded it in an early cookbook. However, a century later, renowned chef to the aristocracy and pioneer of French haute cuisine, Marie-Antoine Carême, enigmatically referred to it as an ancient recipe. At the time, the dessert was more poetically named Gâteau de Mille-Feuille, or Cake of 1,000 Leaves. In 1773, in an English-language cookbook, French chef Vincent Lachapelle also mentions this dessert. Unlike the modern cake, the 18th century millefeuille is served stuffed with jam and marmalade instead of cream. Millefeuille consists of 3 layers of golden baked puff pastry and 2 layers of cream in between. Traditionally, vanilla-flavored crème pâtissière is used as a filling. However, nowadays we see various delicious combinations of creams, spreads, fruits, and nuts in a variety of recipes for this scrumptious delight. If you don't know how to make crème pâtissière, check my post. The link is in the description below. Anyway, what is so tempting about this 1,000 layers yumminess? The crispness and the flakiness of the perfectly baked puff pastry that makes a delightful contrast to the silky cream, I say. So, if you want your puff pastry to be crispy when you dig into your millefeuille, there is only one way. It has to be freshly assembled. This is the reason I make my own millefeuille. The link is in the description below, rather than ordering one from the pastry shop. Although, I have to mention one particular Parisian patisserie where you get the freshest millefeuille ever. It is Jacques Genin in the 3rd arrondissement, in case you are in the neighborhood. Okay, Paris is far away and my oven is right here. So, I'm going to make some yummy vanilla and strawberry millefeuille right now. And you, watch and learn. As usual, recipes on my site, the link is down below. First thing I'm gonna do is roll out my puff pastry to thickness of about 3 mm, which is 1/8 of an inch. I took it out of the freezer a couple of hours ago and left it on the counter to defrost. All about making puff pastry you can find on my site, the link is in the description below. I'm happy with the thickness of my dough and I've transferred it to a large baking tray that I have turned upside down. I'm gonna duck my pastry with a fork. Now I'm gonna put a rack on top of the dough to press it down. Now, I know that this looks a bit strange. I mean, the pan is usually not turned upside down and the puff is in the pan, but for this type of dessert, this is the right way, trust me. So, first I'm gonna put all this assembly in the fridge for about 10 minutes to chill, and then I'm gonna shove it in the oven and bake at 200 degrees centigrade, which is 400 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 12 to 15 minutes until golden brown. To make crème pâtissière, I'm gonna put the milk, half of sugar and vanilla powder into a large saucepan and put on the stove. Now I'm gonna blanch the egg yolks with the rest of the sugar. I'm gonna add sifted flour and cornstarch and whisk to combine. My milk is hot and now I'm gonna temper the yolk mixture with approximately 1/2 of the heated milk. I'm gonna stir well and return the yolk mixture to the saucepan. Put back on the stove and cook, stirring vigorously until the cream boils and thickens. I'm gonna let pastry cream to boil for another 2 minutes, stirring constantly so the starch cooks thoroughly. I'm gonna remove the cream from the stove and immediately pour the cream into a clean bowl. I'm gonna cover it by placing plastic wrap on the surface of the cream and chill. I have just made classic crème pâtissière. While the cream is cooling, I'm gonna cut the edges of my puff pastry with a pizza wheel to create a rectangle. Then I'm gonna use a template that I've made of cardboard to cut out rectangles 5 by 10 centimeters, which is 2 by 4 inches in size. Now it is time to finish off my crème diplomate. I've placed cream into a bowl of a stand mixer fitted with whisk attachment, and I'm gonna mix on medium speed until soft peaks form. I've placed cooled crème pâtissière into a bowl of a stand mixer fitted with whisk attachment, and I'm gonna whisk on medium speed until softened. Now I'm gonna fold whipped cream into mixed crème pâtissière. First, I'm gonna put approximately 1/3 of whipped cream into my crème pâtissière and stir the mixture with a whisk. Then I'm gonna fold in remaining cream with my silicone spatula and stir until my crème diplomate is silky and smooth. Next thing I'm gonna do is cut my strawberries lengthwise into 2 parts. Now it's time to assemble my millefeuille. First, I'm gonna pipe the cream onto the bottom layer of puff pastry, and I'm gonna put some strawberries on top of the cream. Then I'm gonna repeat this procedure with the second layer of puff. Finally, I'm gonna assemble all 3 layers of my millefeuille. To finish off my vanilla and strawberry millefeuille, I'm gonna dust it with powdered sugar. There, my work is done, and now is the time for reward. Lucky me, I can't wait to sink my teeth into this beauty. Join me!
Oh baby, you are so sweet, so delicious and yummy, so good to eat. I wanna lick you, feel your sweetness on my lips. Forever and ever, you'll stay on my hips.
I'm Teresa. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you want to stay in touch, follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and of course, visit my site, where you can find elaborate posts with lots of pictures, additional information and recipes that follow my every video. Also, on my site you can download my free 365 pages ebook The Pastry Chef and maybe buy me a macaron, if you think that I've earned it. Now, before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps a lot. Finally, and this is the most important thing, don't forget to create sweetness every day, because sweetness is happiness. See you in my next video. Bye!